Welcome to the Aspen Collective, 213 South Mill Street in the historic Wheeler Opera House. We're very honored to have an old friend and collaborator, Tyler Hanzel, here in the house showing his incredible work. We've worked together for years.
Years and years.
And I'm really honored to have this exhibition of Tyler and to show his full talent, which is developing and growing daily. And his love of circles and the universe and within is impressive. And thank you for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, DJ.
Yeah.
So my name is Tyler Hanzel. Thank you all so much for coming to enjoy my talk about my artwork and my process. And the last few years, I have dedicated myself to drawing circles exclusively. I don't draw lines. I have a hard time with a ruler, but I really love the compass as a sacred tool. The ancients used the compass to design the pyramids. They used a compass to design their temples. And it's a very sacred object in the fact that it does one thing. It draws circles. But through circular geometry and spirals and everything that can come about from the use of this tool, it can create the fabric of the universe as it is. And what I've come to learn through the process of these drawings is an intimate look within yourself to see how we are all interconnected in the work that I'm doing and the work that everybody's participating in their each individual lives. It all comes back full circle. And the way that we are able to create our reality is so true. When you put your mind to something, you're able to manifest your desires and your dreams. And through this process over the last 3 years of drawing circles for me, I've stayed focused on doing one thing in particular. And how I got started drawing circles, and it's apropos to the timing of the psychedelic symposium here in Aspen right now. I microdosed LSD for 28 days at 31 in July of 2023 and saw circles everywhere. And I wanted to start drawing them, so I bought a compass on Amazon for $6. And it was a pretty cheap compass and didn't draw very good circles. But soon enough, I was drawing the seed of life and I was seeing perfection right before my eyes that I was able to create. And from that, I bought a better compass and worked on nicer paper. And I started creating art, and I have a history in art. I studied in Florence, Italy with two brothers for 3 years of my life, and they taught me their style of a fresco painting. And we traveled the world together making large murals of fresco paintings. They came to visit me in California. We spent some time in Australia. We traveled all over Italy. And those two brothers, Roberto and Rodolfo Guarnieri, have taught me everything I know and more about what it means to be an artist and to create art and to share your art. And so I'm super grateful for their wisdom and their opportunity to take me in as their apprentice, the only apprentice they took in their over 25 years working together. So thank you to the brothers in Italy. And I came home and worked for a couple different galleries and had the opportunity to sell everybody else's art, and I always wanted to sell my own art one day. So then I got started drawing circles, and I made these drawings without the intention of selling them because they just felt so good for me to create them without the idea of that I need to make money from them. So it has been super special to see the love and appreciation for all this work I've done over the last couple years, and so grateful for DJ and the space to exhibit this artwork in my first solo exhibition. And a little bit about what the circle means. The circle is a straight line, and the compass moves in a straight line as it draws around, but it creates a complete idea. And in the beginning of a drawing, it starts with one circle and it ends with one circle. And at the beginning, God said, "Let there be light." And that's the first point in the paper as the compass comes down to meet the paper that is the light. And then the circle is created. And the second circle is the division of the heaven and the earth, and it creates the Vesica Pisces, which is the Armandala eye, the all-seeing eye, the Jesus fish, the ichthys. And so in the third circle that's drawn, it creates the Holy Trinity, and two equilateral triangles are made. And then as the seed of life is formed, it goes on through the story of Genesis. And it's really powerful to witness. It's really powerful to see the end product, but to watch the drawings come to be is almost hypnotizing. And it's amazing as I've watched my friends enjoy my drawings, like watching them get hypnotized within the matrix and the fabrics of realities. And I was sitting and drawing one day in February of 2024, and I had just started my New Year's resolution to draw 10,000 circles that year. And at the end of January, I had counted how many circles I drew, and I drew 12,000 circles. So I decided to make the goal a little bit bigger and draw 100,000 circles that year. And I was sitting there in February late at night on my like seventh drawing of the evening, and the drawing started speaking to me in a way that said, stand up, walk away, and go to the other side of the room and look at the drawing. And so my drawings are under really bright lights on my desk, and the drawing, as I looked at it, almost popped up off the paper and started spinning holographically. And then soon enough, a beam of light started shining straight out of the center of this vortex of energy, and the portal had opened. And I knew at that moment that I was doing something really powerful and really special and really unique. And it got me hooked on what I was doing. So I drew every single night. I drew every single opportunity I could. I would take my compass and my Sharpie wherever I went, and I would end up at after parties at friends' houses, drawing circles for friends, and I would just be always drawing circles. And now, you know, it's something that I can't even imagine the geometries that have come from this experience. I've learned so much about the physics of reality, the way that mathematics is intertwined in everything that we do. Everywhere we are, there's circles all around us, the light bulbs up above, the wheels on the car. Everywhere you look is a circle, and if you counted how many circles you saw in a day, it would be thousands and thousands of circles. And what's really special about the human body as it's designed on the Fibonacci sequence is that the only perfect circle inside of the human body is the pupil. And it goes to show that that truly is the window to the soul, as the circle of the sun creates life and the circle of the pupil is what sees and perceives life. The heart is a spiral that is vibrating at such a force inside of us that it creates a whole magnetic sphere around us. And the brain, with the electricity of all of the synapsing neurons, is creating an electrical symbol that is shooting out our vibration. And so that electromagnetic sphere is our toroidal field, like an apple, and like the earth and all of the heavenly bodies are toroidal shapes that are creating our aura. And around us, we can shine our aura, you know, typically out about 6 feet. And that's when you're like in somebody's bubble, in somebody's space, is when you're in their toroidal field. But if you sit in meditation, like the Buddhist monks, their toroidal field spread over the entire earth. And when somebody's down and depressed, their toroidal field collapses into their heart. And you can just feel those vibrations that are coming off of people. And I hope to feel these vibrations inside of these artworks in a really special way. As I place the compass down, I take a deep breath in, and then I think of love, and I draw the circle around, and I think of love and take a deep breath out. So every single circle that is drawn is a deep breath of love in and a deep breath of love out. And I hope to share that love of circles that I have with the world, and I hope that people can see the love of circles within their own family units and their own friendships, and how the circles around us are truly representative of who we are and what we're doing. So the circle has every shape inside of it. It has triangles, it has squares, it has hexagons naturally, and pentagons, and all the shapes are inside of the circle. So it only makes sense that the circle then makes all of the shapes. You just have to overlap them in a way that, the first time I drew perfectly straight lines with circles, I was blown away. I couldn't believe that. I was looking at the drawing, I was like, that line right there is a fully straight line, and all I was drawing was circles. The process evolved organically. Just as circles start to evolve, they start creating other geometries. And so in 2024, during that 100,000 circle project, I would draw a drawing and then try and draw it exactly the same, and it wouldn't turn out the same. It's almost impossible for me to draw the exact same drawing twice. And so I've never been able to replicate a drawing. And I actually didn't draw my first yin yang until about a year into drawing. And I didn't know how to draw it. And then once I discovered the geometries, I would just take bits and pieces of drawings and evolve those into other drawings, and then use what I liked and worked, and trying to create compositions that were balanced with harmony, with white space them to breathe and for the artwork to vibrate on very high frequencies. If you look at these drawings, if you look at them long enough, they start to breathe in a way that like is like they're moving and alive. And so I started doing many different iterations of drawings that taught me about the ways that circles can come to be. And then after a little while, I started reading some books about it, and those books actually taught me a lot more about how to draw them. And so I do use a ruler. I'll use the compass against the ruler to take measurements. That way I know I'm expanding it 1/16 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. And so I'll hold it up against the ruler, and then I don't use the ruler to draw, but it does help with the measurement of the spacing of the spheres. And yeah, my name is Tyler Hanzel, and I love drawing circles. Thanks everybody.